The scent of blooming lavender wafted through the crisp afternoon air as I stepped off the train and onto the worn platform. Home. It had been far too long since I'd set foot in this charming small town, where childhood memories of chasing butterflies and making daisy chains still lingered like the sweetest perfume. As a former botanist, I'd spent years studying the intricacies of plant life, but life had taken me down a different path. The demands of academia, followed by a string of failed relationships, left me feeling rootless, until now. I'd returned to rekindle my connection with nature, and perhaps, just maybe, recapture some of that youthful magic. As I made my way through the quiet streets, nostalgia washed over me like a warm spring rain. The old oak tree in front of the town square still stood tall, its gnarled branches stretching toward the sky like arthritic fingers. My thoughts turned to her, Emily, the fiery redhead who'd stolen my heart all those years ago. We'd grown up together, exploring these very same streets and sharing secrets beneath the starry night sky. Life had taken us in different directions, but I'd always carried a torch for her, hoping that someday our paths would cross again. As I turned onto Elm Street, my eyes landed on the small cafe where Emily's family owned the bakery. A flutter in my chest. Was it anticipation or mere coincidence? I pushed open the door and was immediately enveloped by the heavenly aroma of freshly baked bread and pastries. Inside, the familiar scent transported me back to afternoons spent sharing stories and laughter with Emily over steaming cups of coffee. My gaze scanned the room, searching for a glimpse of that fiery mane, when it hit me. There she was, her eyes sparkling behind a veil of curly brown hair as she expertly piped icing onto a tray of colorful cupcakes. Time seemed to freeze as our eyes met, and I felt the familiar rush of adrenaline. Emily's smile, once reserved exclusively for me, now welcomed me with open arms. We exchanged warm hugs and pleasantries, the tension between us palpable as we rediscovered each other. Over coffee and pastry, we delved into the past, rekindling old flames and forging new connections. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over our little town, Emily invited me to join her for a walk under the stars, just like old times. As we strolled along the riverbank, the air thick with blooming flowers and the promise of possibility, I realized that love can indeed bloom again, even in the unlikeliest of places. The scent of lavender mingled with Emily's laughter, weaving a spell of new beginnings. We walked hand in hand, our footsteps echoing through the stillness, as the stars began to twinkle above us like diamonds scattered across the velvet night sky. It was as if the universe itself had conspired to bring us back together, and this time, we wouldn't let each other go so easily. In that moment, surrounded by the beauty of nature and the warmth of rekindled love, I knew that our story was far from over. As a former botanist, I'd discovered that sometimes the most unexpected blooms can lead to the most profound growth, in both the garden and the heart. As the nights went by, Emily and I found ourselves lost in conversation, reminiscing about our past, sharing stories of our adventures, and exploring the beauty of our hometown together. The stars shone bright above us, guiding us back to each other, just as they had all those years ago. One evening, as we sat on a bench overlooking the town square, Emily turned to me with a mischievous glint in her eye. "You know what I've always wanted to do?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. I leaned in, intrigued by the promise of adventure in her tone. "What's that?" Emily's smile grew wider. "I want to start a botanical garden, right here in our hometown. Just think about it. A place where people can come and connect with nature, just like we did when we were kids." My heart skipped a beat as I felt the excitement of possibility take hold. "That's an incredible idea," I said, my mind racing with visions of lush greenery, vibrant flowers, and the gentle hum of bees. Emily's eyes sparkled with enthusiasm. "And I want you to be a part of it. You're a botanist, after all. Your expertise would be invaluable in bringing this dream to life. I felt a surge of passion ignite within me. It was as if the universe had conspired to bring us together once more, not just for love, but for a shared purpose. Without hesitation, I agreed to join forces with Emily and create a botanical garden that would become a beacon of beauty and connection in our community. As we began to plan and envision our project, the magic of our collaboration grew, drawing us closer together like tender shoots sprouting from the earth. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, our bond deepened, nurtured by the shared passion for nature and the thrill of bringing a new vision to life. Our love blossomed once more, this time rooted in a sense of purpose and community. One crisp autumn morning, as we stood amidst the golden hues of changing leaves, Emily turned to me with a radiant smile. "You know what I love most about you." I leaned in, my heart pounding with anticipation. "What's that?" Her eyes sparkled like diamonds. "The way you make me feel. Like everything is possible when we're together." In that moment, surrounded by the beauty of nature and the warmth of rekindled love, I knew that our story was far from over. As a former botanist, I'd discovered that sometimes the most unexpected blooms can lead to the most profound growth, in both the garden and the heart. Together, Emily and I continued to tend the soil of our relationship, nurturing the love we shared, just as we would nurture the beauty of our botanical garden. And as the seasons passed, our bond grew stronger, a testament to the power of love, nature, and the human spirit. As the days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months, our botanical garden began to take shape. We worked tirelessly, hand in hand, planting seeds, pruning, and nurturing the growth of our little corner of paradise. The townspeople took notice, and soon our garden became a beloved destination for families, friends, and even couples looking for a romantic getaway. Emily's baking skills and my botanical expertise proved to be a winning combination, as we began to host workshops, events, and intimate dinner parties beneath the stars. One evening, as we were preparing for a special anniversary dinner party, Emily turned to me with a mischievous glint in her eye. "I have a surprise for you," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. My heart skipped a beat as I wondered what could top our already idyllic life together. She led me to the garden's central fountain, where a small wooden box sat atop a pedestal adorned with fresh flowers. "What is it?" I asked, my curiosity piqued. Emily's smile grew wider as she opened the box, revealing a beautiful, intricately carved wooden ring inside. "This was passed down through my family," she said, her eyes shining with tears. "It's said to bring the wearer good fortune and true love. Will you wear it and seal our love forever?" I was taken aback by the romantic gesture, but as I gazed into Emily's eyes, I knew that this was a surprise I would never forget. As we exchanged vows beneath the starry night sky, surrounded by the beauty of our botanical garden, the ring glinted on my finger like a beacon of love and commitment. The townspeople cheered, and the sound of laughter and music filled the air as we danced into the night, our love growing stronger with each passing moment. But just as we were about to share our first dance as a married couple, a strange phenomenon occurred. The stars above us began to twinkle in sync, forming a pattern that spelled out a single word: congratulations. As we gazed up at the celestial display, Emily's eyes met mine, and we shared a look of wonder and excitement. It was then that I realized that our love story was far from over. In fact, it was just beginning to bloom. And so, with the stars as our witness, we sealed our love forever, surrounded by the beauty of nature and the magic of our botanical garden. The surprise that Emily had planned for me was only the beginning of a new chapter in our lives together, one filled with adventure, growth, and the knowledge that our love would continue to flourish like a garden in full bloom. The end.